we go. Oh, it's not even up. There we go. Top 10 myths in Warcraft.
Is nearly 15 years old, and over the years, many legends have been created.
Yep.
Some are true, and some are half true, and others downright ridiculous.
Yep.
It's a tale as old as time, going back to the days of the Loch Ness Monster.
Oh, that one's real.
Bigfoot.
I know him.
You can save Eris in Final Fantasy VII. Yep. There's a nudity code for Tomb Raider.
Yeah, there is.
Ermac in the first Mortal
It's called
Kombat
4chan.
game. All because the phrase Ermax, which truncates error macros, appears in the diagnostics menu of the arcade copy of the game. As you'd imagine, the world of Warcraft has had its fair share of myths created throughout the years.
Yep.
Most of these I'll be covering will be from Classic. Not really intentional, it's just
Bengal
that back then,
tiger.
with the game being new and everything, it was much easier to believe all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And also MMOs just being
I believed a lot
everyone
of
in
stupid
general,
shit
I
back
think,
then, too.
You're more likely to believe that there are these super hidden secrets to be discovered, since the genre as a whole is on such a massive scale. Today, it's easy to say that, oh, that's stupid. Who would believe that?
Yeah, it is easy
But
to say
back
that.
before everything was gone over 4,000 times with a fine-tooth comb, this stuff was actually believable.
Yeah.
But without any further delay, these are the top 10 myths of World of Warcraft.
I used to swim out.
Starting small and working our way up, number 10 on our list is that the Molten Core was made in 1 week.
Wait, I actually thought that was true.
Well, this is partly true. The
Wait,
environment
yeah, it
was
was
created in 1 week by the great John Statz. From the World of Warcraft diary, he describes his 1 week escapade in making the iconic cavern.
Yeah, I thought that was true.
Did you know that there was originally a path from Golemag's room to Magmadar? It was only taken out after Jeff Kaplan deemed that it would make the raid too circular, preferring instead a more linear layout.
Wow.
So the environment was created in 1 week.
That could have been
which
the little
eventually
tunnel there.
turned into the raid.
Holy
was created
shit,
in
I
1
didn't know
week.
that.
Something I'm guilty of spreading myself.
So
this
Jeff
is
made the
partly me
raid take
correcting my
longer.
errors. In the
Okay.
following weeks, Jeff Kaplan did all of the spawning and creature placement.
Wait
Scott
a
Mercer
second. That means that every single fucking time that I have to deal with those respawning lava elementals and the fucking flame walkers every week, that's because of Jeff. Every week, Jeff fucks me in the ass.
Find all of the boss fights. Bob Fitch set up all of the loot. And Pat Nagel and Alex Afrasiabi handled the quests and attunement to the raid.
Wow.
All this doesn't make it any less impressive, though, and the raid as a whole deserves a spot in the Hall of Fame, taking into account the new ground that it broke, in spite of the tight window in which it was created. For number 9, we have glaive weapon types pre-Legion. As you know, ever since the Legion expansion and the release of the Demon Hunter class, the glaive type weapon is now obtainable in-game. And before that, in the Burning Crusade, we had the Warcraft.
Yeah, you had the Warcraft. That was it, though.
But even prior to that,
well, there was an
Raid
artifact
searched
weapon in the game
endlessly for these fabled glaive weapons.
Yeah.
Why?
It just wasn't
Well, just look
wasn't
at
usable
it.
by players.
That's some ninja stuff right there. It just
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
get
all.
any cooler than that. I'm gonna name my character some variation of Legolas or Sasuke and dual wield these puppies. Like I said, it started all the way back in the release of the game.
Yep.
There were a handful of NPCs who held these fabled weapons, typically night elves, such as the Darnassus guards or this boss found in Dire Maul,
This stupid
Prince
piece of shit
Clefairy.
that dropped my leggings
I
on the
remember
first
that
pull.
people would farm him over and over in hopes of that ultra rare glaive drop, but it was all for naught. It didn't help that there were indeed glaive weapons in
What
the
a
game
fucking
files,
idiot.
though.
Who the fuck would
Although
do
they
that?
were still of the sword type, the war glaives of Asenath were data mined.
Do you know, I wonder, like, back in the day, I wonder if people thought Rivendare's Death Charger was one of these things. Because it was just so ridiculously rare that there were probably servers that didn't even have it. And that might have actually happened. Like, yeah, they didn't even, yeah, what are the stats? Yeah, those are really, really good stats, especially for vanilla WoW, you know? And, yeah, people might have actually thoughten. Is thoughten a word? Thoughten? No, it's not. Okay, I didn't think so. Anyway, so they might have thought that it is now. That the Rivendare's Death Charger actually wasn't even a real mount.
These
It's
had
crazy to
insane
think that,
stats
too.
at the time, and you could even combine them together to form the twin blades of Asenath.
It's a
Unequipped,
portal
you're
icon.
consumed by the fury of Illidan, and you gain 1400 attack power against demons, and 20% more hit chance, and 30% more haste. There is also the Glaive of the Defender, a legendary quality item, more designed for tanking and having a proc that reduces damage by 75%
What the
for
fuck?
10 seconds. As you'd imagine, these items became the 10 seconds.
What the fuck? That's insanely good. Oh my god. It has armor, agility. Like, this is... If they add Classic Plus content, I want to see this fucking sword in the game, man. I want to use it. Like, reduce damage taken by melee attacks, range attacks, and spells by 75%. That's a fucking proc shield wall? A proc shield wall? Holy shit, dude. That's so good.
As you'd imagine, these items became the objective of a massive scavenger hunt. Players turned
Yeah,
over every rock
I'll bet.
and even explored the dormant dark portal found in the Blasted Lands
I did
in
that
search
too.
of Illidan. You name it, people have
Walk
tried
through
it,
the portal.
but it was never meant to be, as these items were indeed only found in the game files.
Do you know which one I really hope that he adds? Oh, if you go through, if you go stand in the thing right behind Golemag, you can see Ragnaros. You just have to go right up in there and look right in the cracks and you can see Ragnaros. And then, you know, you'd have people run up there and it ticks for like 3,000 damage every quarter second. So it just immediately fucking deletes you.
And at number 8, we have rank 15 in Classic World of Warcraft.
You can get rank 15.
Every myth stems from a bit of truth, which is the case with this entry.
You know what rank 15
As you
would
may
be?
know, Classic World of Warcraft
Rank 15
had the
would
old
be
rank
Asmongold.
14 system. You started at rank 1, and depending on how many honor points you farmed, every week you would rank up and gain access to powerful items, consumables, and even access to a special building and even the local defense channel.
Absolutely.
At ranks 12 through 13, you'd get your purple armor set, and at 14 the weapons, along with some nifty titles, High Warlord for the Horde, and Grand Marshal for the Alliance. However, there's believed to be one more rank, even higher, called City Protector.
Oh, Alliance should get that, because they're always in the city. Yeah, we do have rank 15. It's automatically given out to every Alliance in the city. Go over to Ironforge. You see City Protectors everywhere. Yeah, what do you mean, MadSeason? That's not a myth. Just log on and find out.
Then, if you grinded enough at rank 14, you'd eventually reach this, which ended up being false.
Yeah.
But like I said, most myths have a bit of truth to them. This rank was indeed planned to be in the game, and was even briefly in Blizzard's PvP guide on the official website. To obtain this, you'd have to be the #1 player in honor farmed for the previous week, and of course maintain that for as long as you wanted to keep the rank.
Wow.
If you were successful, you would earn the prestigious titles listed here, and would even gain the ability to teleport to your race's major city. So Darnassus for Night Elf players, Undercity for Undead,
That's fucking
and so
amazing.
on. I guess that
Wait, I want to look at the titles again. Protector of Stormwind, Overlord of Orgrimmar, Thane of Ironforge, High Sentinel of Darnassus, Deathlord of the Undercity, Chieftain of Thunderbluff, Avenger of Nomergon. That sounds stupid, Avenger of Nomergon. Who the fuck would want that? Voodoo Boss of Sinjin. A Voodoo Boss. Imagine if the Voodoo Boss was like a warrior or something. I don't know. That'd be a little bit disappointing.
Dead and so on. I guess that they figured that the system was a bit too hardcore
Bob, yeah,
already,
you'd be Bob
though,
Salami.
so they limited it to rank 14 instead, and the City Protector rank was lost to the ether.
Yep.
It was pretty troublesome though, because people still believed it existed, and with the way that the honor system worked back then, to rank up, you'd have to get more honor than other players of your faction. So you'd have these rank 14s still grinding honor like crazy for the non-existent rank 15, which made it harder for others.
There was a player named Kurama on the Daggerspine server who held rank 14 for over 6 months in hopes of getting rank 15. Yeah, he's not alive anymore. It's not that he died, he just became one with the game. He didn't die, he just he received and elevated himself to a higher level of consciousness. I really hope they give that guy an NPC. Yeah, he became the game. He is the game. rank 14. Imagine after 6 months. Imagine like the 4th, like the 10th week of that. Like 3 months in. And every Tuesday you wake up and you're like, am I still GM? Yeah, I am. And then you check to see if you're city defender and you're not. Like, imagine, like, I wonder what the last week was like for him. I would love to interview this person. This is fucking hilarious. He still plays. I found his armory. Wait, what? What the fuck? Really? Oh my god. Holy shit. 536,000 kills? Do you know what the funny thing about that is? He probably got all those in vanilla. He probably got all those in fucking vanilla, man. And he's actually still playing the game. Dude, I need to ask this guy what his slash plate is. Man, I bet he's going to make me look like a fucking noob. That is insane. Yeah, he's alive. It has honorable kills leaderboard. Yeah, it's insane, dude. 500K. Lol, I had 1 million. Yeah, I don't know about that, dude.
Players to rank up, and there's a lot of drama going around because it was such a hardcore grind, requiring players to play around the clock pretty much. It was quite common to account share even, but that's getting off topic. So rank 15
it's not.
At number 8. At number 7, we have artifact items in vanilla. Similar to the glaive section, these finally saw a release in Legion, but until then, there were hints of these items in the game.
Yep.
In their original items
that was like
page
the glaives
on their official website, it was listed with the other tiers of loot, and that's poor, common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and artifact. As you can see, the color was undecided, and then later changed to red, and eventually this peach color. And with all of the data mined items, just like those glaives, people would
I've seen a
search
lot
all
of these. These are pretty fucking
for
cool.
clues on how to obtain them. It didn't matter that in July of 2005, Blizzard updated their page to say they're not yet implemented. That didn't stop players from scouring every corner of the world, even in ghost form.
Yeah, I've done the same stupid shit, dude. I think that, I mean, like, what would it be like if they added, like, a new... I wish they added a new level of difficulty for pieces of, like, gear. And they make the gear, like, the armor, or, like, the weapon or whatever, they make it red. And the quest line would make the Scepter of the Shifting Sands look like a joke. Like, it would take, like, literally 2 hours, or sorry, not 2 hours, 2 years to even get through the quest line. Yeah, Primal Ancient, basically, yeah. It would be fucking ridiculous. Oh, I've seen some people with a lot of HKs. I've seen that. Nixie, I know exactly who that guy is. Retail's up? Okay.
Other artifact quality items would be Alex's Ring of Audacity, which increases your defense by 1,000, and you can consider yourself born again hardcore. Probably a reference to Alex Afrasiabi, who was a quest designer for the game back then.
Yep.
You also had Martin Thunder, which was a one-handed mace with some resistances, and an on-use effect that kills all enemies within 30 yards of you.
I need that
and
for
also
PvP.
Its cousin, Martin Fury, which miraculously did manage to find its way into a player's
Yeah, it was
inventory.
the old war thing.
I've told this story before, so
Yeah.
I won't be super detailed here, but to sum it up, on accident, a GM sent this to a player named Karate Chop on the Vecnalesh server, who then used it to clear through all of the Wrath of the Lich King raids during the Eldwar tier.
Yep.
He was quickly caught, the item was removed, and he was immediately
That
banned
bitch got
from the
banned!
game. As for the rest of his
That's the way it
guild,
goes.
even those not in the raid, those who were online were suspended temporarily in a frantic effort of damage control.
Yep.
Yeah, screw that dude questing in Elwyn. Damn cheater. So
Fuck
maybe
him,
not
dude.
technically a myth, since it was obtained
Banned for a
through
GM's
an
mistake.
extraordinary series of events.
I would have banned a guy
but
using
still,
it too.
a pretty big myth in the game overall. And at number 6, we have Karazhan is enterable. This is a pretty big claim, but the myth itself never got too much
Well, it
credence,
is. The
so I
crypts
can't
are
justify
enterable,
putting
right?
it too high on the list.
But okay.
Of course, this would be another vanilla myth, as Karazhan was released in the Burning Crusade expansion, but it was believed by many to be enterable, or at least interacted with in some way. I mean, it even has an instance portal, and taking a look at the nearby Karazhan crypts, there has to be more than meets the eye with this place.
Yeah, I would say so.
Referencing the Computer Games article from March of 2005, issue 172, it even gives a preview of Karazhan as an upcoming raid. So naturally, players thought that it would be a thing in Classic, or that she could somehow zone into it.
Yeah, it's too bad they never did that. That would have been awesome.
Those who managed to glitch through the gate, however, found that the portal was just for show. And as for the article, there were plans for Karazhan to be released in Classic, but due to one reason or another, it was pushed back to the Burning Crusade. And coming in at number 5, we have an oldie but a goodie. Back then, there were many theories on how loot drops were determined in the game.
I used to think this.
Drop this loot. The idea is that it has to be seeded from different variables, and there are many theories on just how it was influenced.
Yeah, I used to think the same stupid shit
that the raid
all the time.
Or even the first person to zone into a raid had an influence on the loot tables. Like, we had good luck with drops with player X as the raid leader, and bad luck with Y, so we should always have X as the leader, or he should zone in first to the raid, so we get...
I rationalized this a long time ago, I think it was like in BC. I said that because my character usually has like legendary drops enabled, that I needed to be the leader of the raids, and that worked really well because that also allowed me to give myself Master Looter. And this is like actually like this was so long ago, I don't remember exactly like how the logic worked or whatever, but I just wanted to be leader. I didn't even think I Master Looted anything. I just wanted to kick people out that I thought sucked. Like, that's really what it was. I don't even think I Master Looted or Ninja Looted or anything. I wanted to kick people out who I thought were bad at the game.
The good drops, and guilds were quite strict with it. My guild in particular would remake the entire raid if someone was foolish enough to zone in before the designated person, which was a pain since the raid's a 40-man, and you had to have everyone zone out,
That's so fucking stupid, dude.
And manually re-invite the right people again, and then rebuff.
Yeah.
It took forever, but I guess it was something that they felt strongly enough to waste 20 minutes of valuable raiding time.
Yeah, that's about right.
It was, of course, never revealed just what influences the loot in the game and what doesn't, and it's something that's died ever since the advent of personal loot, thankfully. Wow. And next, we have the Bengal Tiger. Up until the Cataclysm expansion, there was rumored to be a hidden tiger mount in the game. It exists in the game files, and hey, look, there are even screenshots of it this time. Players
it looks pretty badass.
Scoured the earth in search of this mount, this time focusing their efforts in the Stranglethorn Vale zone.
It's right there on the
selection
corner.
Of Bengal tigers.
The cave is there, but that's it.
Connection. Eventually, through some tricky out-of-bounds jumping, a lone cave was found in these mountains. This was never designed for players to be able to reach.
Yeah, there it is.
There's quite a lot of detail put into it. You have this nicely
That's the
lit
Bengal
path
Tiger
with a bunch
vendor.
of torches and crates scattered about.
Yep.
And this cave, which holds these tarps.
So they actually did give the Bengal Tiger to somebody. There is a genuine Bengal Tiger in the game. So there was a girl that apparently got it from the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they gave her the Bengal Tiger. So there you go, guys. If you want the tiger, you know, there you go. That's how it's done. He's gonna get to do that. Yeah, exactly.
Why, these tarps must be made of Bengal tiger hide, players said, and thus the Bengal Tiger Cave was born. It was rumored that under certain conditions, a vendor would spawn in the cave and sell you the
just have terminal
mount.
cancer, that's all.
It only spawns at certain times, maybe once a year. Oh, maybe you need to have this cape equipped to see the NPC.
Ooh, Tiger Strike, that's
smart.
smart.
A hunter and have a tiger tamed as a pet.
Yep.
Maybe, just maybe, it was a mount that was planned, but was just eventually scrapped, and the screenshots going around were from the beta of the game and never made it to release.
That must have been it. I mean, like, there could have been like a private server or something like that.
And no matter what players did, the Bengal Tiger Cave yielded no Bengal Tiger.
Yep.
Getting into the final three here, though.
My mom thought this.
We have the Emerald Dream.
Yeah, my mom actually thought this.
This does, of course, exist in the lore. As described by the Wowpedia, it's a vast, ever-changing spirit world.
She thought it was in Fairless.
The boundaries of the physical world.
Yeah.
And it represents how Azeroth would be if intelligent beings had not altered its surface. Basically, a utopia of sorts.
Yeah.
It was referenced in various ways, even in Classic. You
talk Scepter of the Shifting Sands questline.
Spirit from the dream during the Scepter of the Shifting Sands questline.
Okay.
But it was always believed that it actually existed within the game somewhere, and that she could somehow.
It actually did.
Well, it turns out that it does exist, but like with many others in the list, it's only in the game files.
Exactly.
It was being worked on throughout
That is the Emerald Dream right there.
And it was believed to be a high-level zone for players to adventure in, and the Druid class in particular would have a close link to it. In 2003, Jeff Kaplan, the lead game designer, said that it was in the works and that it was shaping up to be extremely cool. The zone was meant to be endgame, it was very large, and
it's
was
too
going to
bad
be
this never
exceedingly
happened, man.
challenging. This
It
was
really
all
is.
said before release in 2003, so when the game launched, players eventually asked the question, well, where is it? In classic fashion, Blizzard maintained radio silence, which prompted many rumors and even hoaxes on how to enter the Emerald Dream.
Yeah.
False directions being posted.
Yep.
Oh yeah, just keep going.
Swim
through
out into
fatigue
the
water.
ocean, that's all.
It's somewhere over there, just keep going.
Yep, just keep going.
Videos of people exploring the zone were posted, some of which providing no context. One of the most popular exploration videos back then was by Dopefish, who showed himself exploring various places, the Emerald Dream included.
What the
It was
fuck?
disclosed that it was all done on a private server, I believe.
Yep.
But it didn't stop people from trying to figure out ways to reach it. In this scene,
Wait, is he gonna
you can see
RP
that
walk
he
in there and then
heroically slays a
fucking
big
cut it
drake
into the
and
Emerald
walks
Dream?
to the portal, and with some simple video editing, he's in. These
Oh
green
my
portals
God.
behind all of the Dragons of Nightmare world bosses were always believed to be
That's so
linked
fucking
somehow,
funny,
which
dude.
may have been the intent at some point.
And you know, there's like all
but
these
alas,
kids back
yielded
then.
no
It's
result.
like, you know, like kids back then, they weren't used to being lied to on the internet. You know, they weren't used to just like being just reflexively skeptical. And so some kid would probably see that and get himself killed 8 times trying to walk through one of the fucking world bosses to get into this portal, only to finally get there and walk right through and turn around, and then fucking, what's his name? Aramis, or whatever the fuck his name is gonna just attack him through the goddamn, the portal, right? It's pretty funny to think about that. On the internet, nobody knows you're a lying gnome. Exactly, dude. Aramis, what are their names? Terriar, I think there's one of them, yeah. Emerus, yeah. Oh, it's Emerus? Yeah, the only reason I know it's Emerus is fucking Athene, okay? Well, is Athene, is Emerus even one of them? Fuck, dude, I don't even remember.
It's on the real servers.
Yeah, it's been so long.
It was only on September 2006, after the announcement of the Burning Crusade expansion, that Blizzard broke their silence on the matter and confirmed that it's not in the game, and also that there are no plans for it as of yet. Between then and now, players have flirted with the Emerald Dream for various quests, and even visiting the corrupted Emerald Nightmare raid in the Legion expansion.
Yep.
But to this day, we've yet to see a full representation of the Fabled Zone. And in similar fashion, another one from Classic here is that you could enter the Outland.
The funny thing about these is
this is the Orc homeworld of Draenor. Now,
the best part about this is that the best myths are grounded in reality. And there are actually places that you can go to and see Outland in Vanilla WoW. And if you can mix the myth of the game with like kind of the reality, I think that's really where it comes. Because you can get people to believe it halfway. And if you can prove half of it, people will just want to believe the other half.
Corrupted by the Burning Legion, and it served as the stage for Khadgar's campaign in Warcraft 2.
What the fuck?
This myth, of course, ended with the Burning Crusade expansion.
The fucking cinematic, dude. I don't remember that one.
But it was believed that you could somehow enter the Twisted Realm far before that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dark Portal was in the game, so it was inevitable that players searched for ways to enter it, or at least come up with outlandish theories or rumors to find the hidden zone. As I said, most myths are based off of some truth.
Bro, I thought that shit was real back
again
then.
With this one.
What do you mean?
There were plans for players to enter the Outland in Vanilla World of Warcraft. I mean, why have the Dark Portal on the login screen, right? But due to one reason or another, it was scrapped and saved for later. Either they ran out of time, or they just didn't expect just how successful the game was going to be.
I don't think any, like...
And once they said that, maybe they said, let's just save it for another expansion. However, just like the Emerald Dream, there existed a version of the Outland.
This is the original Outland right here.
Of course, not actually accessible by the players.
Yeah.
This would later become the Hellfire Peninsula.
Yep.
And as you can see, this would be Honorhold, where Khadgar and company took residence. And the zone as a whole has a lot of similarities to the final version that we received. It had a huge amount of work put into it, considering that it never saw the light of day.
It's disappointing that all these new zones...
Dopefish's exploration video.
If they did Classic Plus, would you guys want to see them take these old zones that were kind of like ideas and take what the old files were and then just iterate on them and recreate them into an actual game? Like, I would love to see them do that, and like the Dragon Isles and like Karazhan Crypts, etc., man. That'd be fucking cool, dude. Like, I would love to see it. The original iteration of the Mount Hydro raid. Yeah, dude. Poll? I don't know if that'd be a poll, but, like, I would love to see them take, like, the original stuff that people used to see in, like, these videos and take that exact content and then build that into something even bigger and release it for Classic Plus. I feel like that would just be, like, fucking nostalgia overload for people. It would be, like, the best combination of, like, nostalgia with, like, also... It's like finding out that a unicorn is real. I think that's what it would be like. It would be like finding out that a unicorn is real.
And players oohed and awed at the unseen lands.
Nostalgia
There must
plus,
be a way
exactly.
in there. Maybe if I try to go through the portal on a level 47 naked gnome with nothing but a banana in my inventory.
Yeah, back to the drawing board.
There was also another version hidden away in the Dead Mines instance.
Yep, this one right
which
here.
still exists to this day, actually.
Wait,
if you
what?
glitch through the wall with slow fall, you can reach another work in progress of what's referred to as the Old Outland.
Wait, what?
And another red herring was
You can do it in the
located
game now?
The Ashara zone. In the depths, you could find a dark portal. Wait, don't we already
No
have
way.
that in the Blasted Lands? Well, how do you explain this screenshot then? What you're looking at is an underwater dark portal found in the waters.
Do it? You guys want me to do it?
It was removed in the alpha version of World of Warcraft.
I'll do it if you
but
want.
That didn't stop players from exploring the waters and searching for some remnants of the portal.
Okay.
The answer was simple though. Back in the alpha of the game, every instance had the dark portal as a placeholder for the entrance. And at some point, it seems like there were some plans for an underwater
I'll do it after
dungeon of
this.
sorts located in the zone. But for some reason, probably time,
Yeah, I'll do it after
ended
this.
up being scrapped. The screenshot remained though, and the zone would become one of many focal points of players' search of the Outland.
Well, they just basically reused the asset of the dark portal somewhere else, and they decided not to do that to make the dark portal more unique. It's not really that amazing.
But as much as we look back and
Number
laugh
one
at
is gonna be
crazy
the
things
Ashbringer.
that players did to enter these
I
zones,
already know it.
this one was understandable because it was actually referenced.
Number
and
one is
hinted
the
at
Ashbringer.
in-game through the corrupted Ashbringer event, which leads me to number one on our list, and that's the thought that you could obtain the legendary purified Ashbringer in classic World of Warcraft. Come on, how could this not be number one?
Yep.
The Ashbringer was
I
the
knew
weapon of the former High Lord of the Silver
I
Hand,
knew it, dude.
Smoggrain.
Yep.
And when he fell at the hands of his son, he, along with his weapon, became corrupted and were made to serve Kel'Thuzad in death. He was one of the Four Horsemen, which was a boss fight in the next Ramus 40-man raid in Vanilla, and on the drop table, players could loot the corrupted Ashbringer to wield for themselves.
Man,
the sword
dude.
came with a variety
gonna
of
get
special
that.
effects, including creepy whispers from the last
I'll
sword
be the
of
first
Morgan
person to
himself.
get that. That's gonna be great. Yeah, it has like whispers and all kinds of other crazy
If you
shit,
had it
dude.
equipped, the Argent Dawn faction would become hostile to you, so
Yep.
you had to put it away whenever you entered their hub. And on the flip side, if you entered the cathedral wing of the Scarlet Monastery
all be
dungeon,
friendly.
you trigger a special event.
I forgot
where
the Argent
spirit
Dawn
of
would be
Alexandros
hostile.
takes revenge on his son.
Yep.
Going into a hidden chamber on the side and talking to the undead Inquisitor Fairbanks,
Yep.
he provides some information on the cursed sword, and he ultimately tells players to find his other son, a more devout and pious man you may never meet. It is rumored that he is able to build the Ashbringer anew without requiring the old tainted blade, and that he
I fucking thought it was gonna happen in BC, dude. I remember trying to think, man, I've got to get the fucking Ashbringer in vanilla so I can get the actual Ashbringer in BC, but it never happened.
resides in the Outland. This set off the biggest scavenger hunt in the game's history.
Yep.
Like I said, players tried every way possible to zone through the dormant portal in
people
the
said you
Blasted
need fish
Lands,
corrupt
the
Ashbringer.
location
Yep.
of the removed portal in Ashara. There is a joke book that dropped from the Altrek Valley battleground called Matt Pagel's
And that's
Guide
how to get
Extreme
the
Angling,
legendary sword
with all but
Ashbringer,
the
right?
last page missing. It reads, and so
Yep.
that's where you'll find the legendary sword of the Scarlet High Lord, Ashbringer. Ain't it amazing what you run into in an ordinary day
Well,
of fishing?
people ran with that
Which prompted players to then fish for it in the waters
right
outside the
underneath
Stratholme
the
dungeon,
bridge.
where Alexandros met his end.
Yep.
There were NPCs who referenced it, and even a data-mined legendary version of the blade itself.
Oh my
So
god.
it was no wonder that players
Oh
were
my
scouring every
fucking
corner of
God.
the world.
We were
After
so
thousands
dumb,
and
dude.
thousands of posts,
We
it
were
was
so
confirmed to
dumb.
not exist in the game in early 2006, where the community manager, Ionix, stated that they'll only add it after casters receive their legendary.
Mm-hmm.
So once Next Ramus came out and they got Adtiesh, and now with that corrupted Ashbringer, players thought that it was in-game, and it was just super hidden.
Yep.
Of course, when the Burning Crusade launched, everyone scrambled to find the last son of Alexander Smolgrain. But even still, after going over every zone with a fine-tooth comb, he was nowhere to be found.
That's such a disappointment, man. Dude, it would have been so badass if they had done that. Like, imagine an item that you fucking improve over expansions. I couldn't even imagine, like, Blizzard doing something, like, that big. That'd be fucking insane, dude. Rollback, yeah, it was better that it was never added. I don't know. It was added, actually. But just in general, I don't know. I think that'd be really fucking cool. And EverQuest did that. Heirlooms? No, not like heirlooms, okay? Like something that's really hard to get. Like, they can't do that in current WoW because the whole progression system's broken. So there's no way you can be like, oh, well, then you want to have, like, all this. It would not work in current WoW, unfortunately. But yeah, there it is. NBC in Terracar Forest was a blacksmith. Wait, what's this here? NBC in Terracar Forest, who was the blacksmith of Honorhold, who was mega teased to be the son of Alexander Smolgrain, named David Wayne. Oh yeah, he's for the blacksmithing quests. See, I thought that the guy who was going to purify Ashbringer was what's his name's son, Turalian's son, the guy in Honorhold. But obviously that never fucking happened.
And it was only in the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, when Tyrion Fordring got the Ashbringer in lore, did most players give up on their quest.
Yep.
Ultimately, as you know, we did eventually see the Ashbringer released as an artifact weapon in the Legion expansion. A bit anticlimactic, however, as every single paladin got it. Hey, wasn't this supposed to be a fabled, ultra-powerful mythical weapon?
That's why everybody gets it.
Well, maybe there's a sale going on or something.
Everybody's ultra-powerful.
But still, during the time, it goes down as one of the biggest myths in the game's history, with Blizzard themselves even referencing it. You can unlock the alternate corrupted appearance of the blade, and the whole process referenced all of the ridiculous things that players did in their hunt for the Ashbringer.
McConnell was one of the people that figured this out.
Killing these slimes in
back
the
in the day.
Plague Lands, talking to random NPCs, and yes, even fishing in the waters outside of Stratholme. So I guess everything came full circle after all.
Yep.
But that's about it. This concludes the top 10 myths of World of Warcraft. Some understandable, and some downright ridiculous. Whatever the case was, I hope that you found the video entertaining. Like it if you liked it. And
this was pretty
funny.
Next one.
Yeah,
Peace.
Peace.
I feel like there's like so much history about like WoW that's like if you've played the game for that long, you just remember like vaguely like all these dumbass things in the game.
We hope you enjoyed.
And it's great, dude. You gonna play Dark Souls again? Yeah, on the 2nd.